speaking of not doing well lately, that maybe they need to take some Tylenol is a Chipotle Mexican grill. Their symbol is CMG. Now, not much on the short side. It's only 2.1%. Institutional owned about 90.5%. The PE ratio is 27.1 versus 28.9, so that's okay. It's still kind of high, but okay. Price of sales 3.5 versus 2.2. Price to book value 12.5 versus 15.7. Price of cash flow checks in at 18.7 versus 15.6, and they have a pretty good PEG ratio of 1.5 versus 17.4. And the PEG ratio is your price earnings divided by growth. Says you're not paying too much for the future growth of Chipotle grill here. Or Chipotle Mexican grill. That's the whole thing there. So we do see that on the growth, earnings were up 4.9% over last year. Industry is up 6.4%. Now, the 5-year for the earnings is pretty good. It's 46% versus 15%, but it looks like the growth is slowing down. Sales are up 7.3%, above the industry of 5.1%. The analysts for the 5 years going forward do give them a pretty good growth rate of 19.2%, well above the industry at 6.6%. They do not pay a dividend, no dividend there. On the balance sheet, got a current ratio of 1.5 versus 1.1. That is good. Debt to equity 1.6 versus 1. I'm a little bit uncomfortable with a debt to equity of 1.6. I don't like it much above 1.3, 1.4. We do see a net profit margin of 13% versus 8%. Return on equity very good, 47.7%. Return on invested capital is 18.7%. Free cash flow is not as good as I expected it to be. It's only $1.5 billion. The industry's at $3.1 billion. So I would like to have more cash flow from this company based on what we've seen in the past. But it looks like the past is changing to the future here.
Yeah. Well, let's look at the current numbers here for Chipotle. Again, their ticker symbol CMG. It's $30.56. 52-week range, the low here, $30.48, and the high $66.74. Year to date, I mean, this stock has just gotten crushed. It's down almost 50% in that year to date period. Over the last 5 years, you're up only 15% now with that huge pullback. And this was one, again, it was like, wow, Chipotle, it just keeps going up and up
Keep
and up.
buying it. It's going to be great.
And now that return has been cut down pretty substantially. 10-year return still decent at about 169%. But looking forward for Chipotle, this still, I'm going to say, surprises me. Even with a 50% decline, estimated earnings per share of $1.24 gives a target sale of just $20.58. Forward PE still over 25. I mean, that is expensive. And earnings now, I mean, before maybe you used to be able to justify it because it was in such a high growth phase. Now earnings are estimated to grow 3% this year and 6% next year. I mean, that to me is very lackluster growth for an above, and I'm going to say this, an above expensive market multiple. It trades at a higher multiple in the S&P 500, and you're getting less growth. And the S&P 500 multiple is crazy expensive too. I mean, this to me is still not a good value, even with a 50% decline.
And actually, the last 9 days, I mean, their earnings estimates are down quite a bit. They're down about 12% here, 12.6% to be exact. And a big one over the last 30 days went from $1.37 down to $1.24. So this was a high flyer, and it did very well. And actually, you said 160%, not too bad, but the S&P did far better than that.
But it all came in that
beginning
prior 5-year period.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Not the most recent 5-year period. It all came, years 1 through 5 rather than 6 through 10.
Yeah, because the last 5 years, you lost money on it.
No, you're up 15%.
Oh, well, we'll say 5 years.
You're done okay. Yeah.
Done okay.
No, yeah, you haven't made money.
No. Yeah, you do better in a bank
Much
account.
money. Yeah.
So, but I think you got some news on it too, though.
Yeah, I mean, the big thing was obviously they tumbled after reporting some weak quarterly numbers, and this is what's interesting to me. The company now expects fiscal 2025 same-store sales to weaken by a low single-digit percentage rate. They still are expecting revenue growth next year to be 11 to 13%. The street was looking for a 15% growth. That tells me if you're not getting much same-store growth, your brand is not growing. People aren't going to your store more often. The only way you're growing is by opening more stores. Opening more stores comes with risk as well because that's more expense, and it could be potentially causing a bottom line not to grow that much.
And the buzz that I've been reading about them is that they're saying their target market of 25 to 35-year-olds, they're just not going as much. They're saying, gee, I can make this burrito myself at home for less price. Things got a little bit tight, so I'm not going to go to Chipotle. I'll just make it at home myself. So their sales are down. Their customer, who is not a high-end customer, is just saying, and some people used to go there, said 3-4 times a week. Nah, I don't do that anymore.
I mean, the competition's out there too. I know Kava, they reported some issues too, though. I mean, they had the same situation where foot traffic is slowed because it's the same demographic. But the problem is it's the same demographic. So people are choosing between maybe a Kava and a Chipotle, and that's maybe cannibalizing on sales as well. And the market can only obviously occupy so much of that decline.
And there's another one too that they talked about that came out too. It was Kava, and then somebody else. So it was
probably like Sweet Green.
Oh, I think they mentioned as a Cane's is the new.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they mentioned Cane's is where is that 25
fried chicken.
Yeah, that they're going there. Yeah,
there's one on Poway Road now.
I saw it. They built
I've never been. I've never been to a Raising Cane's.
Is it spicy chicken?
I'm sure you can get normal chicken.
No. Priscilla's sitting over there saying, nope. Have you had it, Priscilla? You've had it? Is it good? Yeah. She won't speak on air, but she does nod her head.
I have not been to a Raising Cane's. I've been to a Chipotle in, probably like 5 years too.
I've not been there in a while either. Yeah. So not a buy yet on Chipotle.
You won't see me at Chipotle, and you won't see me buying Chipotle stock.
No. So you might be excited about it, but I think their best days are behind them.
Yeah.
So